Land speculators have been drawn into the Jewish quarter of Budapest. Historical buildings, some of them more than 200 years old, are being pulled down. Now all that is recognisable are the outer walls. What was once an Art Nouveau building is now a car park. This is Hungary's post-communist modern style. The Citizens' Initiative OVAS, together with German objectors, are resisting the disintegration of the sector.
I'm very sad that whatever remained after the Holocaust, the crazy modernization of the communist period, the fights of 1956 revolution, we seem to destroy nowadays in 2007, in the time of peace, in the time of realizing our history. We seem to be so disconcerted about our own area that it's heartbreaking.
While the splendid Boulevard Andrassiort has been classed as a World Heritage Site, the Jewish quarter directly behind it has merely been allocated a protected area status, a seemingly worthless rating, considering that UNESCO protection zones are being demolished practically daily. Erzgebetveros, Elisabethstadt. The Jewish quarter has been named after the Austrian Emperor Sissi. It is one of the oldest parts of the town. In the 19th century, when Jews were granted the freedom to trade, several small industries and artisan workshops thrived.
The majority of people here were just greengrocers or silversmiths or making fur coats or candles, and unfortunately we were unable to save the building. This is what replaces it now.
Today there are barely 3 synagogues left. Having said that, the largest synagogue in Europe is also here. During the Nazi occupation, 400,000 Jews were deported to Auschwitz, most from the outlying rural areas. Most of the Jews in the capital survived.
When in 1944 Adolf Eichmann and his small staff arrived to Budapest, to Hungary, to organize this last mass deportation, then he planned to do it in 2 steps. First, from the countryside, and in the second round, he planned to deport the Jewry from Budapest. Our luck is that they had no time enough for the second circle.
Today, between 100,000 and 150,000 Jews live in Budapest, although the exact number is not known. Even though the kosher butcher closed down a long time ago, you can still find Jewish shops in Erzgebetveros. Grocers, confectioners, bakers. We are calling on Curry Mama. The faithful go to her bakery on Fridays for Shabbat bread. Several Jews emigrated after the 1956 revolution, including my parents. But I wanted to stay, so I did. And what do you think of the controversy over the Jewish quarter? Once old buildings disappear, the town's history will go the same way. The largest building contractor in the quarter is the company Autoker, which strangely is led by a young Israeli investor. He proudly exhibits his showpiece project, the Gosdu Herfer refurbishment. Does it not seem inappropriate, though, that it is a Jewish speculator who is pulling down the Jewish quarter?
It's a bit misleading because Jewish investors like me are protecting the buildings and are restoring the buildings. More than that, our company has a history of renovating the city center buildings. For example, not long time ago, we finished voluntarily renovating 11 buildings in the city center.
Furthermore, it is not the duty of investors to care for protected monuments. Politicians should do that. Many residents blame the administration of the council. accusing its head of corruption. In spite of several repeated requests, we are not granted an interview.
The local districts enjoy great independence, which is understandable because after 50 years of socialism, we didn't want this very centralized policy making. But this led that each district is like a little kingdom, and each mayor is like a little king in his own district.
The council is the largest landlord in Erzbergvaros. No one owns as many buildings. With every demolition, large amounts of money changes hands. Destroying is cheaper than restoring. Also, there are no centralised building rules and regulations to be followed. No one feels responsible when the newly refurbished Kiralistrasse is once again dug up by builders' trucks. Even paving stones differ from one district to another. Apartment inspections in the Jewish quarter. Their price has doubled over the last 5 years and have quickly reached central Vienna levels.
This is a 223 square meter apartment, and the total price is 540,000 euros, which is around 2,400 per square meter. We just finished the renovation. It was totally run down.
Most of these houses look different. House owners are aware of the state of dilapidation and hope for demolition. The photographer Istvan Jarve is attempting to preserve memories of these buildings through his pictures.
Unfortunately, the poor look of the buildings are because since the Second World War, nobody took care of them.
A visit to Eva Kraus. The entrance is not very welcoming.
And here, look up how the wall is coming down. It's falling down. Nearly every month happens like this, that people are passing here up and down. And look the stairs, it is how dangerous. I think it was painted at the beginning of the last century, but you can't see no more the motifs and the painting and the colors.
Eva has lived in this house since she was born, just as her mother and grandmother did. By some miracle, they survived the Holocaust. Under communism, houses were nationalised. Eva became joint owner of the tenancy. Then the building came under a protection order. Now it is to be sold to a speculator and demolished. The tenants have not been offered an option to buy. They say they want to sell this house without our approval. I would at least like some rights.
It shocked us, it really shocked. Do you imagine that you live in a house and one day you recognize that it's not yours, that you must leave it.
It is Friday evening and the Jews of Erzbergvaros are celebrating the Sabbath. Eva Kraus too lights the Sabbath candles, as on every Friday. But she has no way of knowing how long she continued to do so in her own flat.